Kristi Noem's Department of Homeland Security is running out of money. And that might be one of the best statements that I have gotten to say in the last year since Donald Trump has been in office. Kristi Noem, Homeland Security, ICE, running out of money. And the reason for that, of course, is because we only have a few days left for Congress to pass multiple different funding bills to keep the government going, or else on January 31st at midnight, the government will once again shut down. And luckily for now, Democrats are standing firm, which they better continue, and not moving forward on one separate funding bill that specifically provides cash to the Department of Homeland Security. And if that bill does not get passed, Kristi Noem is not going to have any money for her dress up. She's not going to have any money for travel, but most importantly, all those disgusting ICE agents roaming American streets like cockroaches are not going to get paid. Oh, that's so sad, isn't it? Poor guys. Democrats don't budge. Even if it means a partial government shutdown, because do you know what part would shut down? The part that doesn't have money, which of course would be the Department of Homeland Security. I'm okay with that to a degree. The problem, and this is probably what would be used as leverage to get Democrats to cave, is that the Department of Homeland Security also, for some reason, is in charge of FEMA, even though that's really not Homeland Security. If anything, that's Health and Human Services, right? I mean, Human Services is what FEMA does. Hell, you could put it under the Environmental Protection Agency because they respond to natural disasters. You could put it under the Agriculture Department. But for some reason, FEMA is under the Department of Homeland Security, so if there is a government shutdown, all of FEMA also shuts down. No disaster response, no aid going out to the people who need it more than anyone, and that's a problem. And that is something, of course, that could be used as leverage to get Democrats to cave and fund ICE, or else these folks are screwed. So it is a bit of a tightrope here. It's not as cut and dry as a lot of people would think. Because I know a lot of folks, like myself, think the Democrats should just stand firm, to hell with the consequences. You got to do this because it's what has to be done. But there will be the potential for pretty intense human suffering. Now, to that I say this. Yes, we have natural disasters that have happened within the last year that FEMA is still screwing around with because they suck so bad, but they're not paying out. So if FEMA were to shut down right now because Kristi Noem runs out of money, it's not necessarily going to impact anyone that is sitting there waiting for their checks because Noem has not approved those anyway. Furthermore, we can't guarantee that a natural disaster is going to happen and FEMA won't be able to respond, right? It's a gamble. You know, we could shut FEMA down by virtue of shutting down the entire Department of Homeland Security for a month, and maybe everything's fine during that month, right? Maybe we don't have any tornadoes or mudslides or fires or, blizzards. Maybe. Who knows? It's a gamble, but I do think it's a gamble the Democrats need to take. Because Kristi Noem needs to feel the pressure. She needs to feel the heat, and she needs to bear the weight of her incompetence. And you can only make her do that if you essentially shut down her entire department by starving them of money. The Democrats have the authority and the ability right now to do it. And I say, yes, do it. We've weighed the pros, we've weighed the cons. And I think the pros outweigh the cons at this point. If a natural disaster happens, run back to Washington, D.C., pass the funding bill within 5 minutes, get FEMA out there. You have that option. But don't cave until there absolutely is no way out to protect the American people. Thanks for watching, and if you are not already subscribed to the channel, please do so, and do not forget to like and comment and share widely among your friends.